So over the weekend, I received a text message from one of my former raiders. Now, this was a guy, amazing player, who had raided with us, let's say 1.5 to 2 years, and he had decided he was not content with the level of difficulty that we were clearing content. Now, for us, that line was borderline heroic mythic, i.e., we killed a couple of mythic bosses, but as we started to have roster attendance issues, maybe some mechanical challenges, maybe some poor performance from players, we backed off a little bit and we dropped down to heroic. And, as the roster allowed us to, we would kill another mythic boss or two. So he decided that, maybe 6 months, 8 months ago, that maybe even longer, that he was not content. He wasn't happy with how we were clearing content. And instead, he wanted to clear every single tier on mythic difficulty. And he wanted a group that could do just that. He knew he had the time and the skill and the patience and the fortitude, and he wanted that. And so he came to me, he approached me, and of course it was a surprise, where I have this guy that just completely is leaving, and not a good feeling, by the way. And he said, hey, look, here's the deal. Here's what I want. I'm going to leave. Encouraged him to do so. He did so. Again, he took a break, etc. Now, he texted me and he said, look, I'm coming back into the game. I really have the urge to raid. I've taken a break. I'm in a good spot. I want to come back. And the first thing I thought of as far as raiding is I want to play with you guys. I miss you guys. I had so much fun with you guys. And while Mythic was cool, I want to come back to you guys. And I know I've talked about as a raid leader, as a guild leader, how you should handle people leaving, how you should handle getting rid of players. I know I've talked about as a player, as a general raider, in no leadership position, how you should handle leaving a guild. And one of the big things as we go through all these as I talk about some items here, no burnt bridges. But with that being said, I'm pretty sure we haven't talked about coming back as a player, coming back as a raider, coming back into a group that you have previously left. So what I want to do, as you guys know, is I want to take a few minutes and get my thoughts out to you, my mindset here about this player and in general when it comes to a situation like this. So first and foremost, as horrible as it sounds, and I know it's so negative to think this way, do not assume, do not convince yourself that this player is going to stick around. Now, I know that's a horrible thing to say, and we can hope, we can want, we can pray, we can, whatever, that this guy sticks around. In this case, I really do hope that this guy sticks around. He's a great raider, he's a good guy, he's funny, he's always online, he's always helpful. He's a good player for my guild and for my raid group. But let's be honest, he left for a reason. And, whoever left in your guild, your group left for a reason. So be hopeful, be excited, but don't hold your breath, because you don't want to put, as we say down here in Virginia, and I'm, pretty common saying, we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, assuming that this guy's going to stick around. And a month later, he goes, I've changed my mind. I'm out of here. We've all seen it. It sucks. And then we're asked out a player. So second thing I want to tell you guys, and what I'm trying to remember, don't bring up the past. Now, if you want to talk about this guy taking a break, things that he did instead of raiding, cool. Because that's neutral territory. What have you been up to? Did you go anywhere? Did you play any other games? Girlfriend, boyfriend? What happened? But if there was a situation, if there was drama, if there was an issue, don't bring that up. Don't be the raid leader. Don't be the guild leader. Don't be the raider in general, especially if you're in a leadership position. And today we're talking about you being in a leadership position where you go, if there's an issue with loot or there's a discussion or disagreement, and you go, oh, what are you going to do? You're just going to fucking leave the guild again? What? Were we not good enough for you? Oh, are you just, using us until you can get back into, one of your better guilds? Don't be like that. Not only do you look like a fool to this guy who may, like we said, may be on the edge of staying or leaving. Well, now, yeah, sure as hell he's going to leave. But you look like an idiot. You look like an asshole to everybody else in your guild who goes, is he going to act like that to me if we disagree on something? Not cool. Absolutely not cool. Now, the next thing, and probably the most important that you want to make sure that you do, is set expectations before the raid. Not after the raid, not during the raid, before the raid. Sit down. You guys by now, if you've watched any of my content, you know that one of the big things that I like to do, if I have an issue, if there's a problem, if there's a situation, I'm going to pull your ass aside before the raid and I'm going to go, look, here's the deal. Here are the expectations. Here are our raid times. Here are raid nights. Here's the item level, the gear level, the whatever that you need to have before I will bring you into the raid. Here are my expectations as far as attitude, etc., etc., etc. Now, fortunately for this guy, we've already done a little bit of texting. We've already talked behind the scenes where I said, look, like I mentioned, here's the gear level, etc., etc. Let this guy know where you are willing to bend as far as the rules go and where you will not bend. And what I mean by that is, for my raid group, a requirement is as such. 9 to 12 Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday and Thursday are our raid times. I won't bend on those. If the whole raid group decides that we want to change them, that's one thing, but I'm not bending on those. Cool. He was good with that. Loot is loot council. Not bending on that, unless the whole guild wants to change it, and we've discussed it, nobody wants to change it. Item level 930 to get in the raid. He has 915, 920 item level. I'm willing to bend on that. Why? Because as of today, when this video gets uploaded, it'll be the second weekend in tours. Big deal. Who cares? He can get geared up fairly quickly now that he's back in the game. Amazing player. He'll get into some mythic pluses. He'll do some pugging on his own. We're golden. I'm not worried about that. And then artifact level for your weapon. That's fairly easy to get. But I let him know my expectations, and what I would tell you guys is, before the first raid, do not bring him into a raid and then go, oh, by the way, now that you've done 2 or 3 raids, here's what I expect of you. Nope, doesn't work like that. You got to do it before the first raid. Most important thing on this list. Now, number 4, and I don't know if this is the best way to word it, and hopefully I can convey my thoughts to you guys, but don't focus on them any more than you would any other player. I.e., if they screw up, if they don't pre-pot, if their DPS is low, if they die to a mechanic, don't blow up on them and, oh, you suck, I can't believe you did that. Wow, your DPS is low. And, are you doing that for anybody else? Now, if that is the way that you handle the raid and you're doing it for everybody, look, guy that just came back and, rogue and mage and druid, y'all's DPS is super low and y'all died to mechanics, fix it. That's perfectly fine, because you are treating every single player, regardless of who they are, regardless of whether they're the new guy that just came back after a huge break or, after he quit the guild, you're treating everybody equally. That's cool. But don't focus more so on this new guy, this returning player, than you would normally, than that you are doing to anyone else. And integrate this player. Give them responsibilities, give them roles, talk to them, see how they're doing. Treat them, i.e., the exact opposite of the last one. Treat them like they're part of the group. If there are things that need to be interrupted, put them in interrupt order. If there are things that need to be soaked and they have the ability to soak, put them on the interrupt or the soak order. Integrate them into the guild. Talk to them. Hey, you got cooldown. What's going on? That way they are part of the group, and you can get them into kind of just gelling and getting in with the rest of the raid group. You want to integrate them in, one, so that they feel like they're welcome, so they're not wanting to leave, and 2, so that everything can run smoothly. Remember, as leaders, as raid leaders, as guild leaders, our responsibility is to do everything that we can to make sure that the raid is successful. That's the job of the raid leader. There's nothing else that is your responsibility. That is, the all-encompassing responsibility. Make sure the raid runs smoothly. Now, of course, you can handle it however you want, but integrate this dude in. Everybody's smooth because they know this guy. They're getting used to this guy. They're gelling with this guy. And you'll be okay. Now, with all that being said, you guys know the deal. If you like it, hit that like button. If you did not like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs down button. However, let me know what you did and did not like. That way, I can improve it for you guys. And until next time, I'll see you.